Well, I went to dinner with one group of clients and a smaller group come up to the room to visit. So it was a good time talking to everybody tonight. Wish we had more to talk about that was positive anyway. Unfortunately, we did not. I get some gourmet jelly beans. I might eat them. I'm going to run through the burns right now. We'll put all the small ones together. We got Jared has Final Answer Road Tripper in Trafalgar. Trafalgar's almost ready to join the Harry Polton burn again from her swimming. Everything looks to be going good. We're going to x-ray her week's end, I think. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We'll x-ray her week's end and hopefully have her back to Harry's on Monday. That would be perfect. We'll see how that plays out. Road Tripper and Final Answer are training down. Kind of dragging my feet a little bit because I want to have them good right now and then be able to race them right through the fall and into the winter. I'm really trying to move the pieces around the chessboard so that we have some legitimate good horses making it back to the races right when we start putting our better horses away. Kind of the opposite of what we did last year. So we Final Answer training back good. He's getting closer. He's been a mile in 2:18, I think 2:17. And Road Tripper, same thing. And Trafalgar, hopefully back to Harry's on Monday. We'll move now to Angie Coleman's barn. Oso Pine. Raced good the other night. 2 seconds. Good job, Angie and Rob. Lincoln James needs to drop down a little bit. I'm going to float it right now. I think maybe Lincoln James should win the Harrisburg sale, recoup some of her money. I think he'd make a good 20 or 30 claimer for anybody. Probably should bring 25 or 30,000 American in Harrisburg. I think that'd be good to recoup some of our money on that horse and maybe look for a replacement. I think I haven't talked to Angie and Rob yet, but I've been told Hawthorne's going to have a winter meet, and if they do, we might have some horses for that meet. Good racing, short fields, a little weaker, especially since Yonkers will be going. I think the Meadowlands maybe, I don't know, Philadelphia. So all the big stables will be gunning there. And I think it'd be a good spot for some of our horses. So lots of doors opening up in that regard when it comes to Lincoln James. I think we should maybe talk about the Harrisburg sale for him in the fall. Oso Pine, as I said, raced good. Olympic hopeful made a break. A little frustrated over that, but she made a break, and she's going to have to regroup her next start out. See You in Tuscany is, technically he's with Angie, but he's not. He's actually in Ohio getting ready for the Ohio sale. Somebody said, are you not going to race him again? No. Why would I? He looks terrible. And, wow. What a shitty story that is. Horse with such potential, such a nice 2-year-old, but that's what happens. When these horses aren't 100% at 2, I think that's the extreme. How bad it can be. That's the worst case scenario. It's a horse come back like See You in Tuscany. I feel terrible for the breeders of the horse or clients of ours. I feel like we've let them down, but man, oh man, we've done everything we possibly can to find See You in Tuscany, fire him back up, and we just can't get it done. So he's going to be in the sale next week. We'll talk about next week's sale in a minute. Who else we got? Smaller burn. Tim Twaddle. Raced all of them today for the most part, except for the fillies. Anyway, Colts are here Sunday. Just for me and you, raced great. 4th, closing on the end of it. She needs to win her next start. I think she can get in the Stallion Series final if she wins. Maybe. So we're looking for a win. I'm going to be driving her hard at the Meadows next week because she needs to win to get in, I believe. She's got other stake races also. Liberty Bell and the Simpson, blah, blah, blah. She's got a few other stakes. She has Path of Totality. I think they said she's sitting in 2nd or 3rd before today, but she slid a little bit, but not bad. She should make the final, and I think she should be good in the final. Really excited about how this filly raced today. I know she got weak on the end of it. A little bit of allergy stuff there. You're going to see that with a lot of them. And in fairness, you might see that with some of the horses that actually won today also. So can't keep beating that drum. But she trotted 56-2. I think that's what she can go. If you'd have said to me in June, Path of Totality is going to trot 56-2 this summer, I'd be happy. How can't you be? So happy with that filly today. Rose Run Versatile, I think, is probably done for the year. Probably going to pull her shoes and kick her out. She was tired today. She got some mucus in her throat. you can only race them with this stuff beating away at them for so long before, at what point does it start to chip away at the long-term game of these horses? And looking at it realistically, what are we saving her for? She's eligible to the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes this year. That's it. So I think maybe Rosa and Versatile needs to just take the shoes off her and turn her out. She's been a good filly for us this year. She hasn't hurt anybody. I think she's made, 17, 18, 19,000. She was a $15,000 purchase. We're out a little bit of money on her, but nobody's taking a bath on Rosa and Versatile. I am going to turn her out. Willpower Fashion. Don't get me started about Willpower Fashion the other day. I'm very frustrated over that for a number of reasons. And we'll just leave it at that. Willpower Fashion, I would wager, will be very good at the Poconos this coming Sunday. Sebastian Yu. Sebastian Yu looked like he was going to be an easy second. Hit himself. Made a couple of comments to Tim tonight. A little equipment tweaking, I think, on Sunday that I think will really, really help him. A few things we can do to help him out, but I think one thing in particular will help. I would say Sebastian Yu will probably go a real big mile also on Sunday, this coming Sunday at the Poconos. So that's Tim Twaddle's barn. We're going to keep rolling right through here with Brandon Bates' barn. Brandon's down to 1. We had an injury to Jailhouse Master. He ended up with a little line in his foot, very similar, a little more severe, but very similar to the crack that White Tiger had last year at the end of his season. So we know how to deal with that. In the stall for 30 to 45 days. 30 to 45 days, and then out in the field for a good 2 months. And we'll bring old Jailhouse back. I would say this has been culminating for a while with him. Obviously, those dirty break he made 2 weeks ago, he's never done anything like that. Any of the breaks, and just not a good year for him. So we'll bring Jailhouse Master. He's in Ohio right now, standing at Jason's barn, in which case when Jason's ready to leave, I suspect he'll be ready to go out to the field. Close, anyway. Brandon only has Beach Bum BB now. She's in to go soon, I think in the next day or two. Raced okay the other day, missed a week, paced 56. Can't ask for much more for her. She's a condition claimer. It would be nice to see her race good all throughout the end of the summer and into the fall till whenever they stop, whenever he wants to stop with her. So that's Brandon Bates' barn. 1 for Brandon. Blair Burgess. I haven't talked to Blair today or in the last few days about Heavenly Skies, but it's getting close to that time. I think Blair will either go easy with her for a few weeks and try and get her ready for a couple of starts in the fall, or he'll just stop with her till the winter. I saw her last time. She was huge. She's getting so big. And, Blair's a pretty smart horseman when it comes to what he's going to do with the horses. Needs to work on his communication a little bit, but a smart horseman nonetheless. And I suspect he'll probably just go easy for a little bit, and you'll see Heavenly Skies show up this fall. Andrew is going to be left with only Cruising in Style here in another couple of days. I got some horses bouncing around here. I got to move around. Another couple of days, he'll just be left with Cruising in Style. I forgot. Technically, White Tiger is gone to Tim Twaddle's barn. For those of you looking for White Tiger. Nothing new on Tiger. I think this is a bad time of year for him with the allergies. James said he schooled great the other day. I know everybody keeps saying he's got to be first or second. No, he doesn't. He's got to go out and race. Hopefully get some money. What happens, happens. If he makes it in the final, great. If he races in the Consolation, that's great too. He's got a lot of stakes through at the end of the fall and the winter. Need to keep him as fresh as we can. Don't beat him into the ground just because we can. And I think he'll reward us this fall, and maybe throughout the winter if we keep racing him. He hasn't had a very busy schedule this year. So White Tiger is at Tim's barn at least till Wednesday, and then we'll see what path he takes after that. We'll skip ahead to Scott D. Domenico. We got Really Blue Chip racing on Thursday. People said, hey, do you want to go drive Really Blue Chip? Scott said too, and I said, you know what? She looks like she's in the toughest division by far. She's 4th best, maybe 5th. For me to fly there, get a hotel, and drive her, it's going to be a tough night for everybody. And I think now that they got the hobbles right, at least it looks like they had the hobbles right when Joe Bongiorno drove her. Surely he can have them right again and then race her on Thursday. I think it just makes more sense if George Brendan just drove her rather than me. So Scott has Really Blue Chip out Thursday night in tough, but nevertheless, we'll see how she does on Thursday night. Then John Bootenshane. We'll run over to John Bootenshane's barn. John's got Stonebridge Simba in race 10. I know this because I'm in race 9 with White Tiger. Race 10, the Stallion Series, 4-1. Love to see a great mile from the big Simba colt on Wednesday afternoon. What else we got? Harness AM race great tonight. Finished 4th, trotted 56-3. She did get up into her knee a little bit. Got to work on that, figure out what's going on. She was a little pinchy in that left front knee today. Her left front knee or foot, one or the other, today. But I'm sure John will get to the bottom of it. And Libero Hanover raced better the other day, closing in 3rd. I know the last quarter was slow. He was 3 wide around the last turn. Raced pretty good. I think it was definitely an improvement from his last start. So that's very, very important. So now you're all up to date on Jared Bothwell's burn, Angie Coleman's burn. What else do we got? John Butenshane's burn, Scott DiDomenico, Andrew Harris, Brandon Bates, and Tim Twaddle. Be back in a minute with the bigger burns. We got Harry, Kevin, and Jason. Back in just a minute.